Hello, welcome to another episode of Snail Mail with Smokey. I'm Smokey, standing outside the post office here in Thorp, Wisconsin. Speaking of mail and post office, I have a stack of mail to show you on today's episode of Snail Mail with Smokey. So let's get back to the office and I'll show you everything that's come in over the past couple weeks. See you in just a second. All right, here we are at the work table, and this is the stack of incoming mail that I have to show you today. First in the mail are a couple of Easter greeting cards that I received. This first one comes from Steve, who lives in Australia. He mailed this back in February, and I received it about a week or so ago, and I really do enjoy the stamps that Steve has included. And inside, he sends me this really colorful Easter card with Easter eggs that are raised up. And inside he writes a lovely message wishing myself and my wife and family a very happy Easter. We had a great Easter. I hope you all had a wonderful Easter as well. It was busy. March was a very busy time for us at our family as well as church. We had a really great service at church on Easter, and then my daughters and their husbands joined us for church. They live about an hour away, so they drove and came to church, then came over to the house, had a wonderful Easter dinner, and just a really great time. And so this next card says Happy Easter. It's a really beautiful card. This comes from our friend David, who lives in New York. So David, thank you so much for this beautiful card and for the Easter greetings. My family and I really appreciate it. Next is this really nice Star Wars card. I own this same box set of Star Wars cards, so I like to send them out. It's also really nice to receive them. And this comes from our good friend Robert, who lives in New Mexico. And he says that he and his wife are ready for spring break. So I am sure that spring break has come and gone for you, Robert. But I hope that you and your wife had a lovely time and were able to rest and relax. And so thank you so much for this Star Wars card. Next is this wonderful card featuring Batman. This comes from Lewis. Lewis always sends me some really nice cards, and this one is no exception. And then there are all of the stamps that Lewis has placed. He's decorated this card for St. Patrick's Day, which was a couple weeks ago now. So Lewis, thank you for that. And then I also received this card from Lewis. This is another Star Wars card. I love Star Wars, so anytime I get a Star Wars postcard, I am really excited about that. And then there are the stamps and the decorations. There's the Mandalorian, an X-Wing fighter. So Lewis, thank you so much for your cards. Next is a series of cards that was sent by our good friend Jilly B. Jilly B, living her life her way, right here on YouTube. Please go check out her channel, give her a like and a subscribe. And she sends me this unique, unusual, but yet I think very beautiful Easter card. And yes, it's an Easter card. There you see the dragon and these wonderfully decorated Easter eggs in white and gold. And then Jilly has decorated the card so beautifully. I love the cross. I love the stamp of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. And she says that she thought of me when she saw this long-necked dragon with the Easter eggs. So, yeah, Jilly, I really do. I really like it. And so thank you for sending it. I also want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who has sent me cards or stamps recently. This card also comes from Jilly B. There is the stamp. It is a maxi card, and boy, I really like this card. I like the map. I love the history. So, Jilly, thank you for that one. But like I said, thank you everyone who has sent me cards and stamps. I have been super busy. This card also from Jilly B, decorated again with the dragons. And this is a card that I really liked. Jilly B did a video on this about the history of weather forecasting in Great Britain. And so a really great set of stamps and cards that the Royal Mail has put out. And so I was very thrilled to receive this. Like I said, I have been so busy the last month or two, actually since the beginning of the year. We have just been busy and time has just flown by. And I have not done a good job keeping up with postcrossing or answering mail or swaps, whatever the case may be. So if you have sent me something and you're wondering, hey, why hasn't he dropped me a line recently? It's just because I have been super busy, and every time that I've said, okay, I'm going to write postcards today, I'm going to write letters today, something else comes up. But I'm hoping that I'm actually hoping to do that this week. If not this week, then next week. But I promise I will. I'll start writing again. Sometimes life just gets in the way, and we have to prioritize things. So I really hope that that you all will understand and forgive my tardiness in getting back to my correspondence with you. So this card is from Rob, that dad guy on YouTube. Please go check out his channel. This is the cathedral in St. Augustine, Florida, and it's a really nice multi-view card. You see the cathedral down through the years. It says the church on this plaza was begun in 1793, financed by the Spanish Royal Treasury, plus contributions of material and labor on part of the local citizens. The church was completed and dedicated in 1797 and became a cathedral in 1870. The bell tower was added and the interior remodeled after a fire in 1887, destroyed all but the exterior walls. And there is the stamp that Rob has included on the postcard. So thank you, Rob, for that wonderful church stamp. Moving on to a different church. This comes from Isabel, who lives in Chile. And so she sends me this card. She was able to do a little bit of traveling. I really like these stamps. Look at this young stamp collector looking at stamps, and then this stamp is really beautiful as well. So thank you so much, Isabel, for this beautiful card. I appreciate it so very much. Next is this really whimsical card. This comes from Aaron, who lives in Colorado. Here you have some of my favorite long-necked animals, giraffes, and they are munching on the plants and laundry hanging in a high-rise apartment building. So I really do appreciate this card. There is the stamp that Erin has included. And so Erin says that she's had to take a step back just like I have from her correspondence. So glad to see that you're back at it, Erin. I hope everything is going well with you, and I appreciate the card. Next is this wonderful card. This comes from our very good friend Monty, who lives in Canada. He sends me this amazing Star Trek card. And so I really do appreciate this card. And he says that he hopes things are going well for me. They're going great. And he says in Saskatchewan, they're getting more winter the last week than the previous 3 months combined. And then here are the stamps. Hey, Monty, I know what you mean about getting winter. We had a, I think, record warm winter here in Wisconsin. We broke several records for high temperatures as well as the lack of precipitation. We got very little snow. We're talking just a few inches the entire winter season, from Thanksgiving all the way up to the 1st of March. And then last week, on Palm Sunday, as a matter of fact, we received about 11 inches of snow all in one day. Thankfully, the temperature the next day was in the 40s Fahrenheit, and so the snow did melt very quickly. But we got more snow in that one day than we've got all winter. And now this week the temperatures are in the 40s and 50s. And so I think spring is probably here. So Monty, thank you so much for that card. Next is this beautiful postcard. If you are a philatelist like I am, then you recognize this inverted Jenny U.S. postage stamp featured on the postcard. But this postcard did not come from the U.S. No, it came from France. And I want you to notice these beautiful circular stamps that feature stained glass windows. Really, really beautiful stamps. I don't have these stamps in my collection. I have some French stamps. They're not a country that I concentrate on, but France has put out some really nice postage stamps, and so I have many of them in my album that I call Just Because. But this comes from, I'm going to do a terrible job pronouncing your name, Quarantine. I am so sorry for mispronouncing your name. Please forgive me. But they say they live in France, and they're sending me this card because they watch Rob. They watch That Dad Guy. And so they're congratulating me for reaching 500 subscribers. Thank you very much. And they said now on the way to 1,000. I hope so. I hope we reach 1,000 very soon. We're a little over 600 right now, so very excited about that. And they tell me that these stamps represent stained glass windows from a cathedral, which they hope I will like. And like I said, I don't just like them. Boy, I love these stamps. They've also included your address here at the bottom for me to send you a card, which I would like to do. Unfortunately, the United States Postal Service has a wonderful habit of just printing all over the bottom of postcards. Sometimes they'll put that white sticker and then print on that, and I actually prefer that because then you can peel it off and see what's underneath. But your address has been marred by all of the barcoding and such that the United States Postal Service has put on this card. So if you could drop me a line on Instagram message or send me an email, both those links are in the description of my video, and give me your address, that would be great. And I will get you a postcard as a way of saying thank you very soon. So thank you for this beautiful card. I love the inverted Jenny. And I can't say enough about how much I really, really love these stamps. A few pieces of mail to go. Next is this piece of mail. This comes from Lila, who lives in Maryland. And Lila has included the brand new Harriet Tubman stamp. And it's a beautiful stamp and a poignant stamp as well. But I want you to see what is inside. This is a postcard from an earlier issue several years ago of a 13-cent stamp featuring Harriet Tubman. And so it tells all about Harriet Tubman, that she was known as the Moses of her people for her daring and heroic rescue of more than 300 slaves. She herself was an escaped slave, and she became the prominent conductor of the Underground Railroad and capped her dangerous and successful exploits by rescuing her slave parents in 1857. So a remarkable woman and a remarkable legacy that she has left us. And so, like I said, this is a postcard from an earlier stamp, but then turn it over and you have the first day of issue, the Underground Railroad stamp, March 9th, 2024 from Church Creek, Maryland. And there is the new stamp and that first day cover postmark. And so Lila writes, she says, I've got to attend the first day issue event of the Harriet Tubman National Park in Maryland. She says there was beautiful music and she was able to meet descendants of Harriet Tubman. And then Lila writes, it was an awe-inspiring day. I can't imagine, Lila, how magnificent that must have been to be able to attend this ceremony and meet descendants of Harriet Tubman's family and to speak to them. What a great day that must have been, and what a memory. So thank you for sharing that with me. I so very much appreciate it. Lila, though, sent me one more thing, and this is it. This is a postcard of a church, which I naturally like. But then on the back, there is a stamp. Lila writes that she was at a local postcard club meeting in Maryland where she lives, and someone was selling postcards, and she saw this card in the mix, and she picked it up and sent it to me. And the reason that she did is because this postcard is of Trinity Lutheran Church in Hayward, Wisconsin. Hayward, Wisconsin is about 2 hours north of where I live. And so I did a little research, Lila. This church is still going strong. It was founded in, I believe, 1904. It was founded as a church. They were given some land. Actually, they purchased the land, I think, for $1, it says, and built a parsonage and built a church. And the church looks pretty much the same today. The sign is new and different, but it has been a continual house of worship for 120 years now up there in Hayward. And so next time I'm in Hayward, I'm going to drive by and try to find this church. So a great piece of Wisconsin history, a great church on a postcard. And Lila, thank you. And how this postcard ended up where you're at, who knows the journey it took. But I'm super thankful that that you bought the card and thought of me and sent it. So thank you. One last thing I'd like to show you, and that is this envelope. This comes from Brent, and who lives here in the U.S. And let me just, there's several things in here. So I want to pull all of those, pull all of them out so I don't miss anything. So many things. And there is a letter. So Brent says that his wife and I are both stamp collectors. How great that must be, and that they watch my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, subscribing, and that he has sent me some things for my collection. So Brent, thank you and your wife so much. Here is a wonderful Christmas postcard, beautiful stamp. So thank you so much for that. Here's a George Washington U.S. stamp. They also sent me a postal card, which is very interesting because recently I've been looking at stamps and philatelic material online, and I've been really intrigued by postal cards for a lot of reasons. And matter of fact, I've planned on doing a video sometime about postal cards because I found a couple that really interest me. Mostly they interest me because of the subject matter. One, they're postcards that were printed and the stamps printed on by the Postal Service. But two, a lot of these were used for advertising. This one has been left blank to send anywhere that you like. So yeah, thank you very much. It's a very new interest that I have acquired, so I was really pleased to see that. Here is a plate block. This is Scott number 3521, and this is a plate block of 4 of Leonard Bernstein. So wonderful to add that to my collection. And then they have sent me 2 really big postcards. Let me just show you in comparison. This is the U.S. Postcard that I showed you. So these are huge, and these are really beautiful images. This is from a total solar eclipse of 2015 from the Faroe Islands. So really spectacular. So now I've got a big decision to make, Brent. Do I keep these and put these in my collection, or do I send these out to other collectors through Postcrossing and swaps? Maybe I keep one and send one. We'll see what happens. So Brent, thank you. Thank you and your wife so much for your correspondence and for your wonderful generosity. You'll be receiving a letter from me in the mail very, very soon. Thank everyone for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you haven't done so yet, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Also give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment. I answer each and every comment that's left, and I appreciate your comments and your feedback. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, have a great day. Bye-bye.